My name's Mauro. I have a family of 5. I have 3 boys from the age of 10, 8, and 6. I'm a film director and writer and producer. She's real, wasn't always real for me, but she became very real. I wasn't somebody who prayed the Rosary or practiced devoutly, and I started to pray the Rosary with perseverance, and then she just made herself very real to me. The Rosary for me is understanding what love is. Like imagine going through your entire life and never knowing what love is. That's what it's like not to pray the Rosary, because I learned how to love properly or so much more intensely through an act of devotion to the Rosary that I can't really explain in a scientific way of why it works. It just draws you closer. The Rosary is like an entryway to the presence of God that Mary prepares. It's very intense. You don't really know how it happens, but you find yourself in the midst of it if you persevere. The Blessed Mother said the best mystery is the sorrowful mystery, because that's where all the sacrifice of God, as a society, as we meditate upon God's love in that sacrifice, it would only bring grace. It only makes sense to me that God is pleased. He's like, here's my creation meditating upon my sacrifice. I'm pleased. I'm going to give them whatever they want. So when people are in trouble, I say, pray the sorrowful mysteries. They're just extremely powerful. I originally thought devotion to the Rosary would be heretical. And that's because of my limited understanding of my faith. I was like, why are we focusing on Mary when we should focus on Jesus Christ? And I don't, I had a natural love for Jesus, so it was uncomfortable for me. But after I took the risk of going, well, this is what she's saying at Fatima, this is what saints are saying, and any great saint has a close relationship with Mary, period. Any great saint. Look at them all. They're like, wow, they're like right on Mary, them. She is the highest honor of the human race, Mary. When people say, oh, the church is this, Mary, a woman during biblical times when women weren't very high regard, is the highest honor of the human race. Not because the church declares it, it's that she's perfected through God's choice and filled with the Holy Spirit. So when the highest honor of the human race tells you to do something, I tell people, you do it. Oh, what about this saint? This is the highest of saints. My friends at first, they didn't really want to hear me talking about the Rosary, but I'm like, I love you and I want the best. So if you're asking me what really works, I'm just going to say it the way it is. This is what it is. You want to make fun of me? Why don't you try it and see? And I remember one of my friends started doing it. He's like, I will never stop praying the Rosary ever again, ever, to my last dying day. And he said it's all serious because he was going through something very difficult. And I guess he had taken that challenge. And they said, you know what, I got to say something to you, Rich. I will never, ever, I will pray it to my last dying day. So people who speak like that, they know the healing power of it. They know again, Our Lady, she says it, you don't have to take my word for it. She's saying it to the world, and it has changed my wife, it has changed my children. I'm like, I tell people, if you want me to get talking about the Rosary, I'll spend hours talking about it, because it seems to be the only thing that's a guarantee, like a bank. It's money in the bank. It's like, it's going to work, no matter what your circumstances are. I know I've heard that before, but the enemy wants you just to brush it off. I remember a priest telling me, the Rosary is like a battling ram. It just pounds. It just gets through all the garbage. It's not even because you merit it. Say like a hardened heart. Jesus talks about our hearts being hardened. The Rosary is like water on that soil. All the seeds are already there. God has already implanted the seed. But once you've got to water the seed for that spiritual growth. I think the Rosary can revive our society today very easily. Not because we're great, not because we're, it's just the rosary. For some reason, you just pray it. Just pray it. It's that simple. The Blessed Mother said the rosary is the second highest thing to the Mass. You know, so when I get in conversations about the rosary, people are like, oh, you know, I got this new Vietnam. Listen, next to the Mass, this is all you can say. At Fatima, she says to the children, you can prevent wars, you can prevent all this hardship. Okay, what do we need to do? Pray the rosary. Maximilian Kolbe will say it's a weapon of grace. It just, you know, here, I was writing a film about St. Maximilian Kolbe. Maximilian Kolbe dies in a prison camp, and what are they praying? They're praying the rosary from the witnesses' accounts. And it actually created grace in Auschwitz, which was the most horrible place. St. John Paul II, rosary, understood that. He understood the relationship, the dynamic of Mary, that she's a tremendous facilitator to bringing God into your life.